Chanel's reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. So listen, I'm coming on here today. I can't listen. My wig, it won't let me be great. Y'all see? It won't let me be great. I'm out here trying to be cute, and it ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Look, I get my necklace right. I gotta get me a new wig. It's time. Okay. This wig got 9 lives. This wig has 9 lives. Child, look, I'm still trying to. It's a struggle. It's a whole struggle. White people know the struggle. They wear more wigs than all of us. Understand? They were the first ones wearing them. Okay? It wasn't us. It wasn't us. Maybe it was us. Maybe the Egyptians, did they wear wigs? I feel like they wore them, and then the Romans. Child, did Hitler have a wig? Listen, I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Chanel's reality. Like I said, I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. I came on here today because I wanted to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, honey. They are over there clowning, okay, having a whole ass show, and I have to respectfully disagree with some of my, favorite content creators who are recapping it, because I'm just like, because a lot of people are saying, oh, I felt sorry for Garcelle and they just left her out there to like they attack. Maybe I'm gonna have to watch it again, because that's not what I saw. I didn't see that. I did think that why they didn't give me all white pillows, y'all? Why they gave me this? I can't. I'm not gonna try to understand this shit today. My pillow won't let me be great. Then get off the bed. I know. I'm in real form. I'm doing the most. Okay. Let's see. You is smart. You is cute. Anyways, y'all, I probably need a drink. I'm on here. Hey, Miss Larger Curls. I know that's right, Miss Larger Curls. I love your.
Hey now, thanks for the invite.
Yes, I am here.
How are you? I like your sequins.
You do?
Oh
Listen,
yeah. Oh yeah.
person in my mind, what is going on? Why do I have an echo?
I
Okay,
don't
maybe
know. Is
it's
it
not.
mine?
It's
I
not.
think it's mine.
Um, I'm a person in my mind. Listen, I think I've said this before. I know I've said it on my channel. Like, I believe I was royalty in my other life. I had to be, because I'm attracted
Yeah,
to everything fancy. It just is what it is.
yeah,
But
you just fancy.
that doesn't have anything to do with this shirt. This shirt is just like, I feel like, what give me any reason to put on a cocktail dress and sequins.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Right on.
Yes, I
I
was.
appreciate that.
Huh?
I said I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like it.
My
I like
motto used to be better overdressed than underdressed.
that part. That part. Yeah, I'm dressing for me. Like, some people will be like, oh, you're just for other women, or you're just for get a man. No, I just want to be cute for me. And when I don't want to be cute, I don't really give a shit if you like it or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just how
Yeah,
I feel.
like you're cute to you and you're gonna rock
Mhm.
that. Yeah. And
Like,
it happens to be cute to us too. So there it goes.
mhm. Just like get into it. Like, you don't have to, but like just get into it. That's just how I feel. Because I'm just not one of those people that like pick people apart about how they look typically. Because this is my thing, and then we'll get to the Beverly Hills of it all. But my thing is, like, nobody is in control of how they look, meaning however they arrived here. So beautiful people just happen to be beautiful. It's not because you did something. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're it
Right,
doesn't have
exactly.
to do with you. It's your parents or your grandparents or whatever. So that's why I try not to like
Right.
people's looks and stuff like that. Because first of all, you ain't gonna be cute to everybody, even the cutest people. Somebody gonna be like, you know what I mean? So I was like, whatever.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I did want to talk tonight. We're gonna recap the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Did you watch the reunion part one?
Oh yeah, I watched it. I watched it on Peacock,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if it's different than what y'all see on the regular TV. It usually does have a little bit more. And so I got to see the full thing. It was
Mm-hmm.
very good.
You think? Okay, so I don't know. I was a little bit. mm, I don't know. I was a little bit underwhelmed. I feel like it got the best part was when Garcelle walked off the when she was going to, I guess, going to lunch or whatever. That was the best
Yeah.
part. So I want to play a little bit of that and then we'll talk about it. So hold on one second. Let me see if I can play
Okay.
I thought Seth was going to be in the hot seat. I didn't realize I was going to be in the hot seat. Jesus Christ. I can't have an opinion. I can't say how I feel. I just have to go along just to go along. Everybody can go fuck themselves. I don't care.
Wait a minute. Listen, okay. There was an enormous amount of fucks that Bravo allowed this whole entire season. Because I promise you, every other word out of Dorit's mouth was fuck that and fuck this. And I was like, now they got Garcelle out here talking about fuck this, but I was just like, what in the world? But I do have this question about that because, as I was saying earlier, oh, and let me just say this: everything on Chanel's reality is, in my opinion, it is for entertainment purposes only. And I was not there; it's all alleged. Okay, we weren't there, so we don't know. But I've heard a lot of people saying, Garcelle, not Garcelle, Lord Jesus, like they felt like she was attacked. I didn't get that. I didn't. I may, like I said, maybe I gotta rewatch it. I've seen people really get attacked. Like I feel like if they were gonna say that, it was more accurate. The season
Uh-huh.
Diana was on there when her son got attacked and stuff like that. And I'm sure Garcelle gets attacked anyways, simply because she showed up and she cute and she black. It is what it is. And it wouldn't matter if she was with white people or black people. It's just sometimes when you're gorgeous and you're accomplished and you're educated and you
When
came from
you're
that.
that girl,
Exactly.
sometimes that happens.
Right.
Yes.
Every day. So, and you could never, okay? But I still didn't feel like this was a situation where I felt super bad for her. I felt bad for her when they did that to her son and other things seasons before, like what Lisa Rinna was trying to do and all that.
Mhm.
I kind of felt like I didn't think it was inappropriate. I didn't think anyone said anything that was just so super scandalous or hurtful, because I feel like the people that when they come to the reunion, they know that whatever they may have healed over the past 6 weeks or whatever, forgotten about until the show airs, that when you go to the reunion, they're gonna rip off all those mayonnaise all over again. You know what I mean? And so you have to know, okay, well, if we fixed it and you've watched all of the episodes, then we are where we are. So they're gonna talk about it. It's the point of the reunion. But I didn't feel like she was attacked by anyone. I felt like Dorit had a reason to be mad at her. You talking about this lady husband set her up. I mean, you didn't say that, but you said it. Now she kind of, I feel like, played coy with that. She's like, I didn't say that, I didn't say that. But we all know you don't have to say it. We know that most of the world that watched Beverly Hills, they kind of felt like it was a setup. I never felt that way. I never felt that way. I feel
First,
like
she was talking about the maid. I thought she was talking about the people that put the security in.
oh,
I
that's
didn't
what you
immediately go to PK, and she does have to say it for it to be him. You can't. And for
oh,
Dorito,
I
I feel like for
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, it's okay. Go. You weren't even done. I was just jumping in.
No, you're fine. I do agree. So this is the thing. Everybody on these type of shows, you know that you're being filmed. You know what you're saying. If it's salacious, it's gonna make it to air because they leave out all the happy-go-lucky, the times you and your family getting along and all that. They intentionally leave all of that out because they have a objective, I feel like, to pit people against each other, be scandalous, whatever. So I don't believe for a second that Garcelle didn't think, if I say this out of my mouth, Dorit and her husband are gonna be pissed about it. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, if you're not gonna say, okay, well, I don't think it was PK, because you said I don't think it was Dorit. I don't think Dorit had anything to do with it. That doesn't necessarily mean that PK by default did, but one of the things Erika James said years ago, and I wholeheartedly agree with it, and I don't even like her like that. She was just kind of like, when you say something and you leave out a part of it, something salacious, then you leave everybody else to fill in the blank. And people typically fill in the blank with negativity. And if I'm Dorit, of course I'm going to think that. Oh, who else are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? But Garcelle can stand on the premise. She can say, no, that isn't what I said, and you took it the wrong way. But then my thing is, if that's true, if you don't think her husband had anything to do with it, then just simply say to her, you know what, Dorit, I see that that's hurtful. I hurt you. I apologize. And I don't think PK did it. The fact that she didn't say that to me feels like you think he's in the lineup. I'm not saying you think he's the one, but you know what I mean? So, but anyway, go ahead. What were you going to say? Larger curve, did she leave? You on mute? Hey, Mr. A-Dub. Love it when you come by my show. Why you keep breaking hearts? What that mean, Mr. A? Whose heart am I breaking? I don't know whose heart I'm breaking. Come back, Mr. A-Dub, and tell me whose heart I'm breaking. Child, listen. I ain't trying to break nobody's heart. I'm a good girl, Mr. A-Dub. Okay. Until Miss Larger Curves come back, we're going to finish listening to this ending that Garcelle says.
Everybody can go fuck themselves. I don't care.
Woo, child.
I know. Well, that's why before I hope she. Oh God. Hello. Oh gosh. How are you feeling?
I'm doing
Not
most.
great. What's up? I'm damned if I do. I'm damned if I don't. I can say how I feel. I can't say how I feel. I have to tiptoe around everybody. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Dirt. Listen. And I agree with her wholeheartedly. She's like, I ain't tiptoeing. I just do wish Garcelle would not have left this season. Dang it, man. I feel like of all of the Housewives that I've ever seen on any of the franchises, and I've watched every single franchise. I don't watch Salt Lake City because I tried season one and it was okay. It wouldn't knock your socks off. And that one felt more contrived than all of them put together, in my opinion. I just can't believe anything on that one. Because is that the same one that Jen Shaw, that lady, she went to prison or something? I feel like she was on there. And then is it the lady that's, oh God, what is that religion? Mormon, who wasn't Mormon? And, I don't know. It seems like a lot going on over there and then wasn't there a black lady who had like married her grandfather or something like that? Listen, I'm not into it. So I can't be bothered with it. But, and Miami never was, interesting to me, but I feel like of all of the Housewives, Garcelle to me, her, and I would say her and that Eileen Davidson lady. I would say those two to me were on this show and showed the most class, in my opinion. I feel that way because Garcelle really didn't. I feel like she doesn't get down in the gutter with people. Yeah, she's a little sassy and gossipy, but that's what the show's about. I don't feel like Garcelle is coming for people in the way that's super malicious. She's just basically saying, hey, these things are going on, and let's just, the producers, I'm sure, are like, let's talk about it. Hey, Coach Ferg, Chanel, get out your feelings. What? Coach, get out my chat. No, I'm playing. Hit that like button, Coach. Now, I just do feel like this. I feel like Garcelle has, as much as a person could possibly do, has approached this really, to me, murky waters of reality TV in a city that is full of fake and phony people. And when I say fake and phony, I'm saying from head to toe, fake and phony, with the Botox and the lips and the ass and all of the things, everything in between that. So much of fake and phony people. And then she comes to this cast as the only black lady, and she's gorgeous, and she's accomplished, and you know what I mean? And she's Haitian, and she's just doing, like, she's winning on every cylinder. And I really felt like, ooh, Garcelle, girl, when she came on the first season, I was like, oof, don't do it, like, run. But she's to me, she's managed to keep grace and class. Oh, Jesus. What you say, Coach? You say all I say is what? Yes, that's right. Because it's Chanel's reality. It's how I feel on Chanel's reality, Coach Ferg. No, but that's true. It is my reality. So it's my point of view. It's my perspective. But yes, I'm so on one hand, I really didn't want her to leave this season because I just do feel like she is the right type of housewife, even though half these people ain't housewives anyway. But you get what I'm saying? It's like she has glamour, she's accomplished, she's beautiful, she's sassy. You know what I'm saying? Like she has things going on. That's what a housewife should have. And then you can have those occasional housewives who are just so rich like Sutton, that all they want to do is brunch. We're going to go to brunch and then we'll go to Saks. We'll buy a few, Louboutins, and maybe we'll go buy Christian Dior and Tiffany's, and then we'll go, have drinks at Saks because they have a bar in the Saks. And listen, I love going to the bar at Saks. Sure do. I had a hard day of shopping. Yes. No, no, but they do have good empanadas, at least at the Fifth Avenue. You back, Miss Curves, child?
Oh yeah, yeah. So that was a lot. So what were you saying?
No, I was just talking about just now about how I hate that Garcelle's leaving. Because I feel like she and that Eileen Davidson lady were, to me, of all the franchises, they're the two to me that had the most grace and like dignity and integrity, and tried not to like get down, in the gutter like other, some other housewives do. And so I hate to see her go, but I'm happy she's leaving, because this thing called reality TV, no matter how much the fans love you and whoever else loves you, it's going to turn on you at some point. It's going to be your turn, and I kind of feel like she already had her turn, with the whole Diana thing, and all the stuff with her son. So I think it's a good time for her, but I just wish she didn't leave angry. Like, I wish she didn't show us that she was so angry, because that's never going away. It's on tape and it's never going to go away. But anyways, what do you think about her when she's walking off the stage at the end, and she's there
Mhm.
or whatever, and she's clearly frustrated and clearly angry, and she's like, I can't be this and I can't be that, I can't have an opinion. She's mad at Dorit, seems like, and probably Kyle too, and probably Erika as well, because Erika was like, you guys could be a little more interesting. Anyway, carry on. What do you think about those scenes at the end?
Okay, well, let's start with the simple one. Erica to say that I want you to be more interesting. I mean, if her idea of interesting is burn victims and orphans and fake personalities, and your face redone so many times, you look like your long lost sister's cousin's brother, sister. I mean, it's like, okay, okay, a criminal adjacent. Okay, spend the money of burn victims. Okay, have to give your earrings back. If you think all that's interesting, but you never really talked about it without whining about it and snarling at everybody who brought it up, and then pretending like you talked about some shit and really like stood in some stuff that you never even accounted for or answered for, if you call that interesting, along with lip syncing to freaking Chicago, if you call all of that lip interesting, compared to the IMBD that is Garcelle Boo motherfucking they,
I know
then
that's
okay. That's what happens when you let age mayonnaise get away with too much for too long. If they just get beside their self. They
I almost,
just get beside their self.
I can't.
That's what fucking happens.
I
Age
almost,
mayonnaise.
ma'am.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. So that was the simple one.
It's crazy.
As for Garcelle, she was
Mhm.
an asset to the franchise. I was really pleased with her being the first melanated goddess on Beverly Hills. She was there for 5 years strong. I love that she never played into a stereotype of an angry, aggressive
Mhm.
Black woman. I
Mhm.
did not think she played the race card. I think they played the race card.
All the time.
I think when she would talk about her experience as a Black woman in this group, they took it as a race card along with many other people. Many other people were like, well, she shouldn't have brought it up. Well, it's motherfucking obvious. Just like it was obvious when they were sitting around the table and she's like, I'm different in every room I go in. I just feel different. And there this Black lady, the only melanated goddess at the table. Oh, you're not different. The gaslighting, the lies, the fakery, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And there is a difference. There was a difference, yet she never played into the difference of the stereotypes that they wanted her to play into. She always played with such grace and class. They were like, damn, again. They really wanted her out of her center. They really wanted her to show her ass at least once or twice,
Mhm.
and she never showed her ass, but she gave him it to kiss, and I'm really glad about it.
Mhm.
And um when she said on the way back to the trailer
Mhm.
that they won't let her feel what she feels specifically, did you
Mhm.
happen to see the Patrick McDonald's Instagram? So
don't know.
he is a
Was he a
producer,
producer?
supervising producer
I did.
behind the scenes. And he did a live yesterday and quit. Bravo, bravo, effing bravo. And he was saying that part of why he was leaving was because production was doing too much, having these people trying to tell these people how to feel.
Yeah.
Specifically, he used those words. And for Garcelle to also use those words, and then they quit around each other's time. I don't know. I was feeling like, and then she came in. I feel like Garcelle was kind of like there was an edge, like she was done. I feel like she came in with a bit of the fuck it's, and that's why it didn't take a whole lot for her to be like, fuck this place on the way out, the very first break, because she was already there. And to
But
have
I'm
the
still
mean
here, though.
girls turn and talk to her and tell her she's mean, when for the whole season they haven't talked to her. They haven't engaged Garcelle the whole season. So how are you all turning to me right now
Hmm.
in this moment? How are you all turning to me right now in this moment? You know what I mean? If we didn't even talk the whole season, how's that possible?
I
Because it's a
know.
plot and a plan. The same thing that Jennifer Tilly called out, that they like to get their freaking pantyless asses in a bunch about. They're like, oh, because remember, Erika got in trouble for not wearing panties across from PK. Remember?
I,
The puss patter herself is known for not wearing panties upon the puss. She is known. So she
this
gets
is
her
true.
not panties in a bunch.
Oh, I love
All
this
of a
show.
sudden at the reunion for Garcelle, oh, I just wish you were more interesting like that. And people are going to be like, oh my God, that was such a burn. That was such a, no, it wasn't. That was what mediocre people do when they're faced with the superior character in front of them. They have to fake and pretend like all of a sudden, just if I sit up just straight enough, you'll forget that I'm a whore.
You know what? And I think that Erica accidentally said what she really feels about Garcelle because I think what she wanted to say is what she said later to try to cover it up by saying, "Well, I just wish you showed us more of your life," which to me, that it would sound very. What do people say a lot of times when you're not really being super honest, like PG. It feels very kind of like,
Authentic.
yeah, it's like I don't know. It's very acceptable to just say, well, I just wish you would, we could see more of your life. And in reality, that's what she should have said, but she said what she actually means, which is, I just don't think you're very interesting.
But for her to say anything when all we saw was her pick out wallpaper,
That's what I said. I mean, I was gonna say that when we got to her part. I feel like she had her storyline was I'm gonna be the liaison between Kyle and Dorit's, clashing of the Titans. And my only other thing I'm gonna do on here is talk to my therapist and this guy that has his own. I think he used to have a like the interior decorator or whatever it is design because I used to watch it back in the day. And they remodeled my house, and my mom came to sleep, and we got to sleep in the same bed. That's all Erica really gave, you know, in all of the whole season. So I didn't really understand, like, what do you mean? Why is she not interesting? But if I feel like Lisa Rinna said something like that a few seasons back when she talked about herself. I have to think about that, but I feel like she said something like that too. Was it her? It was somebody because Garcelle was like, no, it was Dorit. Dorit said it. She said something like that to Garcelle, and Garcelle was like, I think she said so you can get attention or something like that. And listen, I clutched all of my pearls. I was like, what do you mean? She's a whole TV star. She's a whole producer and all kinds of stuff. She's a model. Like you could never. And then Garcelle was like, "Oh, I don't have to do anything to be relevant." That's what Dorit said. Dorit says maybe she's just doing it so she can be relevant. And then I was like, "Wait, please, what you mean?" This lady actually has a career outside of this show. She had a career before the show. She gonna have one after the show, and you have what? And I'm not knocking Dorit because I actually like Dorit. I know you don't, but I actually like her. But I just feel like she was in that bubble with the other girls, the mean girls, the real mean girls, and now she's out, and now she's on her own. And I don't know what it's going to be like next season, but I think that it's going to be rough for everybody, maybe except Erika, because I think all of them are still kind of scared of Erika. But I think it's going to be rough for Sutton because Erika, Kyle, and Dorit don't like her, and they're going to come for her every single second that they have. And then who else is on the? Oh, and then Bose is in with Dorit, so that's her little shoe in. But I don't really think, I could be wrong about this. I don't think that Kyle wants to smoke with Bose at all. Because I was listening to her when Bose kind of like got her together a little bit, and then she's just like, "Oh, okay, well, kind of thing." And I don't think Erika really wants to smoke with Bose either. And I have to say, I like Bose. I don't have a problem with her because I don't have a problem with Dorit, and I don't have a problem with Dorit. I mean, Bose having a friendship with her. Like I understand kind of why they have a friendship, but a lot of people, I don't know why. So you're one of the people that don't like Dorit. So tell me why, because I don't. I'm indifferent.
Dorit, since she's been on, has been fake. Dorit and all her accents, Dorit and all of her just over Chanel, over, like, she just has always pretended to be, and hey, I'm all act as if, but you don't have to be a bitch about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, okay, so
she never,
give me an example
even
what
when
you think about that, like her being a bitch. Like I feel like she's only well, I can't say only being a bitch. My biggest memory of her being a bitch and just taking shit and blowing it out of proportion was when it was twice. When she did it to Sutton, whatever, I think it's Sutton's first season was, they were at that
her,
dinner.
what she's done to Sutton, what she's done to
But she did it to herself too.
Garcelle,
She did
what
it to
she's just
herself
her
too.
whole little attitude. How she can suck the energy out of the room. Everybody's always like, "Can you STFU?" until they're not, until she,
But does it,
and
but
like
does it,
all of that. And the same reason that PK even doesn't want to be around her,
oh my god.
because he's not drunk enough to be around her ass anymore. When you're drunk and you're around another mean drunk, then it's fun being mean together. But when you're not drunk anymore, then you can see how really mean that person is. Even when they're not drunk and you're like, "Oh, it's not even the alcohol." And she's like that all the time. Hmm. I bet. I bet. He's the one that said it. They're the one that put it out there,
Oh
allegedly.
god. Oh my
Allegedly. And then how I don't know, she just feels like she's always trying to get moments with her whole, okay, so you got robbed. And storyline, I didn't know. I didn't know, because in the ghetto, you just kind of like get your shit together and move on, check your insurance, and keep it fucking moving. You don't like sit and whine to your girlfriends about it every freaking chance you get, like you lost a lover. You don't do that. You don't do that. And then, especially, you don't do that for 2 seasons and then get mad when they finally feel like talking about it because they're like, into that.
Hey, Radiance. Hey, boo. You should come on the panel. I love Radiance. Hey, boo. Hey. Listen, I wholeheartedly disagree with you because, like I told you before, I'm a therapist, and I feel strongly that. But I'm a therapist, and that's just the point of view I'm always going to come from, and social worker too. But you can't manage other people's feelings and their emotions, and when and where they should get
And
over it.
that's all Garcelle was saying, though. Garcelle said exactly that when she was leaving the stage,
I
talking
agree.
about fuck them because they don't allow her to have her feelings. And that's part of the issue with Dorit, and how she is an issue with the other ladies is because she's not nice to them. And part of how she's demonstrated that to Garcelle is by constantly forever minimizing everything Garcelle has ever said or done. She's always tried to be like, oh, either if she's in pain, she's like, oh, I'm in more pain. If she was happy, then she's trying to be more happy. It's just like always something with Dorit,
I
you
don't see.
know?
I don't.
And I don't know. So as a psychiatrist, it's okay for Dorit to do that to Garcelle, but it's not
No,
okay for Garcelle to do.
no. I'm not saying that. I believe wholeheartedly on any end. It doesn't matter if it's a child, an old man, whoever it is. I think
Mhm.
you should have the right to have whatever you feel. Nobody should be able to tell you you're wrong for how you feel. That's why, like, I understood Garcelle's perspective when when she was saying, her and Dorit kept going kind of back and forth because Dorit's like pissed. Like, how dare you? Do you really think that I would, whatever, whatever? And I agree with Dorit wholeheartedly about that. Like, I'm just like, miss me with that. I don't have time to set up a robbery so I can have a TV show. Like,
But if that's how Garcelle feels, and she prefaced it
I'm not
by
done.
saying that's how she feels.
No, I hear you. So that's what I'm saying. I see both sides of it. I can understand why I would be fuming if the world was sitting up here talking about they think that I, faked it, because I'm an authentic person. So I wouldn't fake some shit like that. But that's me. And that's why I could understand how if she had nothing to do with it and has no knowledge of it or whatever the case may be. I don't like to be lied on. I don't like people even think that I'm a liar because my integrity means something to me, right? So I understand why she would say that or feel that way. At the same time, I understand why Garcelle has every right to say repeatedly, but that's how I feel. I feel this, and there's nothing you could do about it. Dorit could just simply say, or could have simply said, that really hurts my feelings because I would never put my family's life at risk for a paycheck in that way. I would never
And
do
I would, I would,
and,
and I
just
would have said, I don't care because that's how I feel.
so here's
So
the thing.
my feelings are supposed to be, my feelings in my body and my vessel I'm supposed to minimize that because I hurt you somehow because I'm feeling. That's some racist ass shit. How are my black woman feelings hurting your ass? How are my black woman feelings hurting your ass when your own husband? And that's some other bullshit because she's a liar. That's some lies on top of lies for Miss Skin and Bones hollowed out Kalos. She was like freaking lying about that. She's like, you and four other people on Twitter? No, bitch. Her and the person that your husband already had to send a cease and desist to in the content creator streets when he was running around sending content creators cease and desist, the black ones. He sent it to the SW world. He sent it to this other one. And he was like, how he was even sending it to the people in the audience who was talking about it. He didn't send it to none of the white people that was talking about it, but he made sure to send it to these black people that was talking about it. And how dare you? And they even brought it up on the show. How dare they talk about this and da 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 da? They brought it up and da da da. So she knows it was way more than four people. She knows. She knows. So why are you yelling at this black woman for how she feels? That's what I'm saying. You always, these white freaking Karen faux fives have always tried to police her feelings, police her tone, police her space. They don't even want her to have a freaking ally in Sutton. And now they finally got their wish because she's gone and she gave him her black ass to kiss.
So okay, that's the perspective. I'll say this much. I do still stand on what I feel. I feel like I don't. There's people that I've seen on these shows are very slithery. Dorit to me, even though I do think she's very plastic and not really and kind of phony in a lot of ways and pretentious in a lot of ways, I still don't get from her that I'm part of a robbery scheme. I don't get that from her. I don't
Oh,
see
I don't know. She totally supports Margaza.
who's that.
She loves the idea of Margaza.
What's my
Like
God?
in real life. In real life.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Like that's what 45 wants to do to the
Oh, I don't
yeah.
know what that is, but I'll go look. Okay, as long as you say his name, I got it. But even with so all of that aside, I'm just saying specifically from what I've gotten from her over the years. There's been many seasons where I'm just like, I can't with her. One thing that I can't understand, I don't understand where, like, it's so bizarre to me how Garcelle and Dorit, for whatever reason, and they've come together a few times. They even came together on this season. I feel like maybe episode 5 or 6 or something. And it
No, all
seems,
the freaking YouTube channels have been spinning and spinning lately.
what do you mean?
I don't know if it's buffering just on my side. It probably is. I don't know.
Oh,
But
you
it
can
keeps
see me or he?
spinning.
Hmm,
Yeah, I can hear you now, but it keeps going in and out. Let me see. I'm
really?
checking this out.
Okay, let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
check.
I'm looking. Just like from on my side, your side keeps buffering, and then we'll both start buffering, and then we'll both come back. On my side, your side keeps. Oh, so why are you yelling at this black woman for how she? That's what I'm saying. Crazy. Why
You
I am so passionate about this shit.
are.
Her feeling.
and it's okay. I love it. I'm here for
Yeah.
it. Um,
Yeah.
so what I was gonna say is like there are certain people on reality TV where it's like I get why, like for example, I get why people hated Lisa Rinna. I didn't like Lisa Rinna. I get why
Oh
people
gosh.
don't
Yeah.
like
Lisa Rinna.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I don't like Kyle. I get why people, all of the things of all the different people on all the different reality shows that I've watched over the
So
years.
you thought you found Dorit interesting over the years? You thought like she
No,
was super interesting? Like so what have you
no,
liked about her contribution to the show?
I wouldn't. It's not that. I've said before, like to me, I'm indifferent about her. Like it's nothing
Oh,
that she's so super brings something so super great to the show. I do love the fashions and how she gets it and puts it together and all those things. I think that's great because that's a part of how the other live that I like. I like to see people get glammed up and be cute and
does it
intense.
matter at all that it's rented, or does
No,
it matter at all that she's like bankrupt and still wearing all these labels? Does it matter at
no.
all
Let
that
me
her
say,
house that she's saying at the reunion is PK told allegedly told the people he was waiting for them to call him back about a rape, to come to find out that it's leased by the agency for $62,000 a month?
oh no, I feel this way, and this is why. I feel like a lot of people walk around, especially in Hollywood, as fake and phony. That's why I was saying they're in the land of the fake and phony over there. I feel like a lot of people do that. And I feel like it's not only her, especially in the reality TV. But even if you go back, way back, they all renting clothes. You see the people that get on the red carpet, the Julia Roberts and the Brad Pitts and everybody else, and they say who they're wearing, and none of them are wearing something they paid for. Somebody gave it to them. So I don't see anything wrong with that. And also, I don't see anything wrong with people faking it until they make it, or even if they're faking. If it makes you feel good to rent your clothes from Etsy or whatever that website is that people go when they just, you pay a monthly fee and you wear these clothes and you send them back. I don't see anything wrong with that. Just like I don't see anything wrong with the people that go down to the consignment shop or down to the what's the other thing, the thrift store and whatever else. I feel this way. I want to be me, so I'm gonna let you be you. So if you are fake and phony and whatever else, as long as it's not harmful to other people and it's not illegal, I don't care. If Dorit wants
You
to
know,
start,
but the issue is that she is fake and phony for real, yet demands authenticity. If you were a real friend, you would this. But she herself is a fake friend
to who?
to like she's yelling at Garcelle about, oh, if you were a real friend. And they're not even friends.
But that's what I'm
They're not
saying.
even friends.
They're not what?
They're not even friends like that.
But that's what I'm saying. They're not friends. I don't think this is what I think. I don't think any of these ladies on this show. I would say that Garcelle and Sutton maybe had a friendship.
Yeah, they did used to be friends.
I don't know. I feel like this is. I also think Garcelle quit because now she really realized it. I think I could be wrong about this, but I think she kind of realized, Sutton. I've been rocking for her for 5 years, and I've gotten nothing out of it. I feel like, they probably had lots of laughs and probably have taken, trips together and had some real girl time. But then in the end, it is hurtful. And I think it's sort of like it's different because it's not a man. But I think if you were a woman and you really were doing everything to be this guy that you really likes, Ryder, and all he does is talk about the woman and is after the woman that does him wrong, did him dirty, whatever else, doesn't care about them, throws them away whenever they ready to pick them back up. That's how I feel like Kyle does with Sutton. And then it's like I feel like Garcelle felt like that third wheel. It's like I love you and I want to see you win and I want to protect you, but all you want to do is think about this person that continuously shows you that they're not your friend. And so I think part of that is I think that's a big part of why Garcelle's like, nah, I ain't doing that. Because when she said in the I guess they were at a hotel or something when they were out of town in St. Lucia, and she was just kind of like, I'm going to bed. I didn't understand it initially until like they did the confessional thing. I was just like, why is she mad at that? Like, what's that do? But there's a whole lot of things they don't show us. And I think there's way more that they didn't show us is why Garcelle is feeling the way she's feeling about Sutton, because it can't just be this one time where something happened and you didn't get her back or she didn't get your back. I just don't believe that. Not if y'all really were friends. So to me, it's something else. But I also do think that
Oh,
girl is tired of having to tell Sutton 5,000 times these people are not your friends. And I feel like she was being kind when she said, Sutton just wants to be
oh,
he
she was so kind. She was so kind, and she didn't get received that way. They tried to even pretend like even her kindest tone was like a command, an attack,
really.
and it was just, yeah, because they were like, that's what Kyle said. She's like, why didn't you tell me that I was the one that was supposed to say something? She acted like she said something wrong to them. She's like, because she likes you. She likes you.
I agree.
Why
I
are you
agree.
talking to me like that?
I agree. And that irritated me when Kyle, first of all, Kyle, oh, Jesus. I hate being
Oh, her style, her everything is annoying.
she drives me crazy because Kyle, since season one, has been yelling across every microphone. Be honest, be honest. You gotta be accountable. You gotta be accountable. But yeah, and she said, remember to Denise a few seasons back, she was just like, if it's out there, then we have to talk about it. And Denise
Yeah,
said, Kyle, we don't. No, we don't. And I loved it because I was like, yes, that's right, Denise, get her ass. And I want to say
right.
the ratings for Denise's show, who I didn't even know had a show until
And
yesterday.
that's why that's why Garcelle also brought it up, is because of that specific interaction with her friend Denise, I bet. And she's like, you did it to her, let's do it to you. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I'll say this. I don't necessarily feel that way because I don't feel that Garcelle is like a
But
gotcha
no,
type
I'm not saying like a
malicious.
get back. I'm saying it's like you did it,
Tell you.
therefore it's okay to do.
Yeah, and I think I didn't. Okay, so I'm of two minds about this. I feel very strongly. I did not like, as much as I can't stand Kyle, I did not like the past few seasons where they're like, why don't she tell us, she's in a bisexual relationship or whatever else. I think people leave people to be who they are. If she doesn't want to talk about her bisexual relationship or whatever it is she got going on, I don't think she should have to. But I do think the reason that I feel strongly that these people should drag you out by your edges to the front to say, Kyle, you can't do that. You can't have your cake and eat it too, because all the 14 seasons that you've been on here, there's been a whole bunch of things people didn't want to talk about. A whole bunch
Right. A whole bunch.
behind there. You know what I'm saying? You guys had a master plan to, in my opinion, completely destroy Denise Richards and any credibility that lady had. And for what? Because you think she's super overly sexual and whatever. It just didn't make any sense to me. And you're taking the word of this lady that you can't even stand, could stand from the jump, Brandy. She hated Brandy. So suddenly Brandy's this person that is a truth teller, even though you hated her and y'all try to destroy her too. Now all of a sudden she's got all the wisdom and she's has a lie detector test that she took and never took. It was just sick. And the stuff that she allowed with oh God, Yolanda, and the list goes on. All of the people that are in Kyle's wake, I still feel this way. I still feel like if that lady doesn't want to talk about her bisexual relationship, if it's that, then she should be allowed to not talk about it. But I do think that Garcelle brings up a good point when she says, well, she wasn't on here this season. And this is the reason, this is what I wish Garcelle would have said. I wish Garcelle would have said, when Kyle said whatever she said about she's not on the show, da, 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 I wish Garcelle would have just said, we all know that reality TV nowadays, in the past probably 5 years, plays out. It's not like it was year 1 through 6 or 1 through 7, where they kept it and we didn't really know about it until we saw, a trailer or, maybe little tidbits here and there. Now they get into it with somebody, they into it in real life, and now we see it in blood, we see it every single place. And so I feel like that's Garcelle's point. That's the bigger point. She should have said, it doesn't matter that she's not on the show. Do we not talk about things that people don't talk about in the press? Because Kyle's number one thing is she's always gonna say, well, it's out there already. And so that's, I think, what Garcelle's point is. Why is it that we got to talk about all of our relationships, but you don't really have to talk about yours at all? Because we really didn't see Mauricio. I think we maybe saw him twice or 3 times, maybe.
It's like
And
so interesting you're bringing that up, because like, so her little friend over there, Erika, is all, oh, I wish you were more interesting, like, who are you dating? And
right,
but you're not asking, but you too also, rather, but you and Dorit and Kyle all feel like it's intact. when Garcelle says, "Who are you dating?" And we think it's Morgan.
You know what, too? Like, I don't even know. Kyle is very perplexing to me, especially with this gay, lesbian, whatever it is that she has going on. I think I can't figure out if she's always been this way and just felt like she grew up in an era where, and you know, in a family and whatever else, religion, where you can't talk about that, you can't be that, you know, kind of like raised very strict or whatever. Even though she says she wasn't, she says her mom let them basically do anything. They didn't have any rules, kind of thing, except for go find a rich man and be an actor and bring home a check. That's what it seems like to me. That was her, you know, upbringing. But what I don't understand is, like, if she's into it, why not just say either A, I ain't talking about this shit with y'all, peer point blank, it ain't gonna happen, or B, this is what I'm doing right now. Me and this girl, we're into it. I didn't
Well,
think.
and that's what she did. But remember, she did it off season.
When did she do that? I didn't know.
That's what Garcelle was saying. Garcelle said, you came to me off season and you talked to me. And she was like,
Oh,
yeah, uh-huh.
but what I'm
And
saying
that's what
is,
she
I
did
didn't know. We
yeah.
still don't know what she said, though. Garcelle said, yeah, you came to me and you said, I don't want to talk about her for these reasons, but I still don't know what is it that you don't want to talk about her about. Like, what is it? That's the thing. I get what's inferred is you're in this sexual relationship with this lady and everybody can see it. But she wants to protect that relationship. And it's just like, I'm confused. Everything about it is confused because I'm like, on one hand, you seem like you want to not, you want to ride off into the sunset, you know, with Mauricio. You want him to come back because you didn't think he would actually leave. And I feel like Mauricio left because Mauricio, all his kids are gone at this point. Portia got, I think, one more year. And he can go have a whole nother life and you know, have community pain all over Europe and everywhere else. But it seems like she wants that to be her ending, but she wants to play right now in the sandbox with Morgan. And that's fine. If you want to go play in the sandbox with Morgan, go play in the sandbox with Morgan, but stop gaslighting us and acting like we don't see what the hell we see. That's what's irritating to me. I don't think she should have to tell everybody, but it's like, why make this super sexual video that I still haven't seen, except for that one thing, that clip that they show? Why do that? And then bring the lady on the show the next season and then say, y'all can't ask me nothing. The fuck you mean? I was like, what?
Because it's a manipulation control move to keep her in power. And it has such a power play. And then she's literally spent 14 seasons demanding and putting other people on Front Street,
That part.
all of their business.
Mm-hmm.
And she's literally calling the black girl mean for doing it back to her.
Right. Oh my God. Thank you for bringing that up. When she said you and Sutton are mean girls, like, girl, I was like, Kyle is on something. She gotta be. Does she know the meaning of words? Because how y'all sit around here for 5, 6 seasons? You, Lisa Rinna, Erika,
The
Dorit,
5, yeah.
yeah, and y'all and Diana too. And y'all sat on these couches and were mean girls, like the meanest of the mean girls. Radiance said she gonna come here and talk. Radiance, do you know anything about the Real Housewives? You
Hey.
watch the Real Housewives? Hey,
Real Housewives of who? Which one?
Beverly.
Girl, I don't watch it.
I didn't know you was gonna say that. You play too much. You only medicine.
I've watched it before, like when it first started, it was good. I just never got back into it.
Oh, it's still good. Well, you know who Garcelle is, right? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know she left this season. She told fuck y'all. She told Erika, what did she say? Erika, fuck them, fuck you. Oh, because Erika said to Garcelle, she said, I just want y'all to be more interesting. I'm just like, girl, that almost took me out. I'm like, well, how much more interesting can she be? She's just a whole ass celebrity. She's a whole ass model. She got a business. She's doing all kinds of good shit. Like, I don't understand. What are you doing? Because I love it when Garcelle was like, I'm sorry, I don't have a rich man taking care of me. Like, yes, Garcelle, get her. Because that's so real. It's like all of y'all are sitting here because of y'all husbands, except for me. And I just feel like get him, Garcelle. But yeah, she left. I can't figure out why she left. but I guess she's just tired of being a black woman they keep beating up on, because that's what Miss Large Curves thinks. She thinks that the white women have, beat Garcelle down. And she just said, I gotta go. Yeah, I don't know. So, do you have any comments? Ladies?
Those don't watch the show. I just want to say, hey, girl. You're not the only comment on shows I actually watch, honey, and it ain't many.
I know. I think next season I'm gonna do Married to Medicine, because I don't know if I even recapped one. I may have recapped one or two of those, but Married to Medicine is it's listen, they are draining me. I'm just like, but y'all, did y'all see the fact that, hold on, wait, who was it? Simone and Quad was about to fight.
Yeah.
Could have sworn that y'all just said it was all good and y'all made up and y'all lovey-dovey. And now
they got a bipolar friendship.
Right.
Bipolar friendship, right? Exactly.
I can't understand why Dr. Simone is even on this show. I still haven't figured that part out. Why is she? Because she's a doctor, maybe. Okay, that's 30.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. But
they were my favorite too originally. Quad and Dr. Simone, they were my favorite too originally.
Really? I always liked the Quad, but I always felt like Quad is like phony. Just phony as hell. But listen, I've grown to like her, and I guess it's because I like to root for the underdog. Because her and that finance man she trotting around, girl, listen, I'm like, I ain't mad at Quiet. Quiet survived every single what do they call it? Council on survival. Like, she survived every single one without a man. Like, you know what I'm saying? After Gregory went off and did everything he did. But that man she got with her, I'm like, where do they make those type of men? Like, where? It's none in Houston. Like, I mean, I'm married. I don't need a man, but I'm just saying. I like the way he look. I'm like, yeah, bring him back next season. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's real cute. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out though.
Yeah,
this is about him.
He is cute to look at. Yeah.
Yeah, he's eye candy all day. I can't figure out where he got his money, because I'm still trying to figure that out. And here's why I'm confused about it, and why I can't say that I believe what they're showing us, is because if I'm gonna be on this show that's going out to millions of people around the world, I'm gonna show my business. Meaning, if I sell highly, expensive vehicles or whatever, exotic cars, I don't understand why that wasn't on the show. Why Kyle didn't, not Kyle, Lord Jesus. Why Quiet didn't go down to the dealership and pretend to buy a Bentley or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that makes me feel like something ain't authentic. But I guess on the other side, it could be like, I don't want them to know my business like that, though. But now they're going to know, because this is what happens when you get on reality TV. All the black Twitter and white Twitter and everybody else in between, they're going to they all detectives. And they're going to go and find every inch of your skeletons in your closet, and they're going to bring it right on out to the front yard. So I feel like I wish Quiet would have just not even brought her man on TV.
Yeah, I kind of am feeling like you might be onto something.
I mean, I don't want him to not be successful and whatever else. I'm just saying it's odd to me that you agreed to come on the show and be a part of the cast, and if he worked for someone else, I could totally understand. Like, I work for somebody else. I don't want to bring that part into the show. I feel that. I understand that. Because we don't see I was going to say we don't see Dr. Simone and not Dr. Heaven. What's the other one? Dr. Jackie at a hospital, but that's because they have their own private practice. But we've never seen them that I remember at the actual hospital where they go and do, surgeries and deliver the babies and all that. So that part I kind of understand. But if it's your own business, which to me, that's what it seems like he's saying, this is his business. I don't know why you wouldn't promote that. But then maybe Quiet told him don't do that, because then, the next thing will be people will be like, well, he's just using you. He's just using you for TV. And, so it's like he probably couldn't win.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, if he came in and was advertising, everybody would have that to say.
So maybe that's it. I hope that's it. I hope that's it. But what do you guys think about the new couple?
Mimi and
Mr. Louis Vuitton himself, okay?
Yeah, he likes the Louis.
Every single episode. I'm like, I'm here for it. Go ahead, with $5,000.
Yeah, yeah. I like them. They complement each other on the calmness.
Yeah.
He's very thoughtful. She's very thoughtful. I can see them like, communing about their relationship and, really planning and plotting out their future together and like, the world and stuff. Like it seems that I don't know. I like them. They seem very grounded. I like them. They
They
could
think
almost have on they could almost have on Birkenstocks. They could almost have on Birkenstocks.
I'm not gonna play behind on this internet tonight. Not doing it.
I like them, but they flip floppers.
Why
I feel like they're more, I don't feel like they're flip-floppers. I feel they're survivalists. I feel they came on, they
y'all?
came on with the two people and they were believing them. They were like, oh yeah, everybody else is crazy because look, Letitia and Greg are our friends. Look, they're telling us all this stuff. Look how happy they are together. And then they get on the show and they see how they were acting in a group setting and then how he called the police and now they're like, oh, they crazy. I bet they was in the room talking about, oh, they crazy, crazy.
You know what? I don't think so. This is the thing. I don't think they think that Letitia's crazy. I think that they think that Greg is crazy and they feel bad for Letitia. But I do think that they've listened a little bit too much, in my opinion, to what the other ladies have to say about. Why am I calling her Letitia? What's her name? Something like if she has a catchy name, what's her name? Sweet Tea. I don't because I can't find fault in that lady nowhere. I can't. I swear to God, I cannot find fault in her for any reason. I know that she's saying things about people that's inappropriate. She said mean stuff to Dr. Heavenly, but I just feel like it's because she's constantly having to like defend herself, defend her husband. Like, why are y'all attacking this girl? I do not get it. I don't get it at all. Like, what has she done to anybody on that show that wasn't provoked? What did she do? And it's like nobody has a reason. It's just like we all know Dr. Heavenly is a bully. She just wants to bully people because she's a bully. That's her job on the show is to make people uncomfortable. And then when they get mad at her and say something mean, she's like, "Yep, I'm a." I can't take her. But I'm like, Sweet Tea ain't bothering nobody. She over there trying to make a baby with a 60. Is he 60? A 50-something-year-old man, and she just listen. That lady ain't done nothing wrong to nobody.
He's
I don't think.
60.
Huh? What'd you say? He's 60 or he 56? I thought he was like 56. Is he 60? Hold on. Alexa, how old is Dr. Gregory on Married to Medicine? Let's see.
This might answer your question. Gregory Abbott is 71 years old.
Child. Okay, Alexa. We are not talking about Gregory Abbott. That plays me. Anyways, let me see.
Sorry, I don't have an answer.
Alexa, stop. Child. So what do you got? Oh well, I know you didn't watch. You don't watch it. Oh, we talked about Morgan already. So what do you guys think about? Okay, so one of the scenes, Kyle and Dorit. Okay, so Andy is like, well, PK didn't come to the reunion. We asked him to come, he didn't come, and he sent a letter or some sort of memo or something like that, basically saying that it wouldn't be helpful because Dorit is not the same person she was, and blah 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 blah. And he doesn't like her right now, and so it wouldn't be productive for him to come there. And then Andy says something to Kyle. He's like, well, do you think that Kyle has changed? I mean, not that Kyle has changed, that Dorit has changed. And then Kyle can't just say, no, my friend hasn't changed. She's just fed up with my bullshit. And that's why my bullshit and her husband's bullshit. She fed up with all of us. And that's why she acting that way. She acting that way because I ghosted her and I didn't talk to her for 6 months. That's why she acting that way. Like, it's just, let's just keep it a buck. But Kyle can't keep it a buck because it's always someone else's fault. So she had to sit up there and be like, well, I can't say Dorit is a different person, but, she did treat me a certain way. And Kyle basically implied that the reason Dorit was treating her the way she was treating her and, on 10 all the time with her was because she was trying to get a paycheck. She was trying to, I guess, renew her season or whatever. But this is my thing. I watched Dorit her first season on when they was on that boat in Hong Kong, and she read Erika from head to toe. Like I've been telling Dorit, I'm like, girl, you need to go get her and come bring her back to the show. Because the way these streets are set up, these YouTube streets, they don't like you. They say, you're boring and you don't do nothing but talk all the time and take pictures of yourself. Like, but I like you, so I want you to I want you to stay on the show because I do think I know that she has that in her. What she's done to Kyle this whole season, she has it in her. And so she finally brought, her alter ego right on back to the front. And I think people are here for it, but I wish she would have been like this the whole time. I hate that she just finally decided. Well, I won't say she finally decided. I think she did it because that 5-4 whatever Fox thingy it is kind of gone. And so the only thing left is Kyle and Erika. And I guess she likes Erika. I honestly don't think Kyle likes Dorit or Erika. And I don't think Erika likes Dorit or Kyle. I guess I believe Dorit maybe likes Kyle. I don't think Kyle likes Erika. And I don't think that Dorit likes Erika either, really. So really, I think they all were in a fake friendship because of this show. Personally, I don't think any of it's real.
Yeah, for them to have such a strong alliance during the season, I don't know that any of their feeds are full of like trips together, like how Sutton and Garcelle had a lot of pictures off season traveling, even with Jennifer Tilly. And so yeah, I don't know that they're friends.
It's even beyond that. Like the way Erika talks to people, she could be very dismissive. She could be sharp. She is, in my opinion, extremely intelligent. She watches everything. Like I have to agree with Erika when they was on that boat, and she said to Sutton something like, you show up. What did she say? You pretend to be a friend or something like that, but then you act like an enemy or something like that. You move like an enemy. I thought that was accurate. I know Sutton didn't like it, and she didn't feel like it was right, but it was absolutely right. It was absolutely right. But it's also
Yeah, but
absolutely
how that's what I'm saying though. How on a show where the ladies are paid to talk, they're not paid to fight. They're paid to talk. They're paid to talk about their lives. On every show, they have an antithesis person who's there to stir the pot and ask the hard questions.
right.
All of that stuff. Every show has them. Nobody likes them, but they all have them. They all know they're on the show that their lives are going to get talked about, like you already mentioned. So how does it then become problematic when the questions get asked? Why is it then a problem? If you just said they know what they sign up for.
Yep.
They know that it's going to get brought up. So why are your panties in a bunch or not your panties in a bunch if you know what you signed up for? If everybody gets a turn on the seat, if everybody knows what's happening, like it's just the unbalance is where it happens. Why does Denise have to be nailed to a cross and made humiliated and made to feel uncomfortable to that degree? And all Kyle has to do is like clam up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no humiliation for if it can happen to Denise, then everybody should get humiliated like Brandy Glanville. And the way that Lisa Vanderpump left a liar according to Kyle. And it's just like, the line is always moving for certain people. And that's the part that's most inauthentic, I feel. So when we're looking at it as viewers, I think that comes into play later on in like, now I'm allegiance to Garcelle. Now I'm allegiance to Sutton. Or now I like, you know what I mean? Or it plays into it because they themselves are inauthentic to that same purpose.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I was saying, like, I personally don't think Kyle is anyone's friend in this friend group. I don't think she's ever really been anyone's real friend in the friend group. I think people always felt like they probably had to kind of like, what it Sutton say, bow at the altar of Kyle or whatever. I do think that because she was the person that was there first, really. At least that's what she said. So I think people always kind of felt like they had to kind of like keep a balance, like, okay, yeah, I can fight with her a little bit, but not too much. You know, except for Lisa Vanderpump, because Lisa Vanderpump gave zero fucks about Kyle. Like she was always begging to be back in a relationship with Lisa Vanderpump, and I never understood it because I'm like, y'all are both slithery. Like both of y'all are slithery. Like it just is what it is. And in my opinion, even though I love me some Lisa Vanderpump, I mean, she's slithery just like Kyle, but she's willing to just cut your ass off and never return. Like I've been like, Lisa's like, nah, you ain't coming back. And if you cross her, she's just gonna cut you off, and you're never gonna ever be in her life in that way ever again, truly. But I think Kyle likes having minions, but only if she can step on them. It's the same thing that she did for so many years with her sister. What's her name? I forget. Richardson, Kim Richards. I feel like she always treated her like that. The way she has treated
Richards used to be the shiz. She was like a freaking pinup 70s like teen person. Like she was the shiz growing up. Yeah.
Mm. And I think so. To me, I think this whole journey on Beverly Hills Housewives has been Kyle's opportunity to be one of those, because her sister's married to the Hilton, so she's good. This other, like you said, her other sister is a superstar at the time, or maybe mainstream star, or whatever the case may be. And then you are who? No one knows you.
You are who? Ooh, that's a book.
No, I'm just saying. And so you are, and your way to get to the audience is untraditional. It's not like how your family planned it out. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Yeah.
but it won. She won, right? Because she getting a sick check to sit on TV and open up her life to people and to the rest of the world, get torn down however many times every week or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think she does have a strong backbone, but she's slithery. And you can't trust a person that constantly is looking at how to tear someone else down so that they can look better. That's what, to me, Kyle does all the time. That's what she did for season 1. Why are you on this bus telling everybody that my I was like, ooh. Like that, to me, that's what said.
When she called her sister an alcoholic. You're an alcoholic now. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Now we can live. We can all go to sleep at night because everybody knows.
And you know why? I feel like, okay, I do feel like Kyle said it out of anger, but I also feel like Kyle said it because she has never been able to top them. She's never had something over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you might be a child star, but you're an alcoholic now, bitch.
Right. I agree wholeheartedly. And so, but I will say this. I do kind of feel bad. I'm not going to get into that. Let's just move on. Because I wanted to ask you guys what you think about whenever, so Andy asked Dorit about PK sobriety, which I think that's out of bounds. I just feel like, Andy, shut the hell up. First of all, people keep talking about, first of all, he is always drunk somewhere during New Year's. And it ain't only during New Year's, the way these streets are set up. And clearly he over there playing with powder, according to what the street said, allegedly. I don't know.
Leah got to sue. Leah McSweeney's case for the pasta gets to move forward.
That's all I'm saying. So it just is real rich to me that you're asking this woman about her husband's sobriety. I just feel like it's just some shit you let other people ask that question. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to ask the question, especially because you're the boss, so to speak. But
I felt that exact way when he asked Garcelle about the robbery, because he brought that up. Dorit didn't bring it up. Andy brought it up.
What did he say? I don't remember what he said.
He was like, yeah, Garcelle, you were feeling this way about the robbery. Like, and he brought it up. He was the one to start that whole conversation.
Hey, is it Trill Smokey? I don't know that person. Hey, Trill Smokey. I don't know him. So, but what did you think about, because Kyle, no, did he ask Kyle about, okay, so Andy asked, did he ask Kyle about the text messages? No, he was talking to Dorit.
Oh my God. Yeah. You mean about texting PK?
Yes. And then he was,
and didn't he ask her something like, have you texted PK since? And she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I sure did.
And you know what? At first, I really did feel like they blew this whole text message thing out of proportion, because I personally, even though I don't like Kyle at all, I personally don't think that Kyle was having a whole bunch of like secretive conversations with Dorit's husband. I do think that he did call her and they've talked on the phone and, they've talked about whatever about his marriage or whatever, because you
Yeah.
cannot know things when your husband and him and her husband are running around the earth doing whatever it is that they're doing across the pond. So, of course, you're going to know something. Mauricio is going to tell you something about something. It just is what it is. So at first, I was just kind of like, why are we making this a big deal? But then when I kind of looked at it again, I was just kind of like, okay, to me, what makes it a big deal is not necessarily that you're having a conversation or a text message about me with my husband, so to speak. That to me is just kind of like, it's the fact that you're not talking to me at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so you haven't talked to me in 6 months because you ghosted me, but you have time to talk to my husband. We have a problem right now. And that's what I can't understand, why Kyle isn't connecting that. Like, immediately Kyle should have said, I'm sorry, and not let her, veins pop out of her head, because Dorit was coming across that table. Like, I feel like Dorit was with it that day. She was fed up. And that's why I don't think it's like fake that she's really mad at Kyle. I think she was for real mad at Kyle. I still think she's mad at Kyle. And I think she's gonna win 3 more seasons out of being mad at Kyle. I think she's gonna bring out things that Kyle said, text messages and everything else, before she leaves. I do think she's a scorch the earth type of person if she really needs to. And I think she also feels like Kyle has been protected, because you remember she said something like, because Kyle has executive, I don't know if she used
You
the
have
word.
a direct line to the executive producer, she said, or something like that. She blew her up. She
Yeah.
blew her up.
And then Andy's like, her name is Amy or something like that. But yeah, but I love it because it's what I've been hearing for years, that Kyle gets special treatment and she has it in with these producers or that producer or whatever the case may be. And I wholeheartedly
Well,
believe it.
why though? I mean, what does she have that she could leverage with a producer when
Who's
she's not Hollywood royalty? She's not the richest in the bunch. She's not the most talented in the bunch. She's not even Hollywood elite. Kathy is. Like, why doesn't Kathy have the freaking direct line to the people? You know what I mean? That's interesting that of all the people, Kyle would.
I think this is because every season, to me, Kyle does the same thing. I don't know if you watch Potomac, but she does the same thing that I feel like what's that girl name? Ashley does when people come on the show. It's another person that does that too. Oh, Tamra. Tamra Judge is good at this. If you ever watched OC, Tamra Judge she's that girl that, when the new person comes in, she talks to them. She's the fun girl. Let's all have a drink and this, that, and the third. She basically tears down all of their walls of, like, she makes them feel comfortable. And then she's going to throw them under the bus. That's what she's going to do. I think Kyle does that, but she does it in a way where I'm the girl that you need to come and meet, kind of thing. Instead of being like Tamra, where Tamra's like, come over here. Kyle's more of like, I don't know you, but you need to know who I am. So you need to come talk to me. I feel like that's how Kyle is, because she's a mean girl. She doesn't think that she should have to, like, be nice to you. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so,
And that's why she thought it was such a big idea when she went and visited Bose,
right.
because she came down out of her tower to go visit the people.
Right. I don't even think that was a Kyle idea. I think the producer said, you need to go talk to her. I don't think Kyle would have ever talked to Garcelle or Bose personally. And I'm not saying that I think she's racist. I think it makes Kyle uncomfortable. I do. I
And
feel
it's
like,
not because she's racist.
no. I'm saying sometimes, so for example.
So wait. Are you saying, did you just say that it makes Kyle uncomfortable to talk to the 2 Black girls?
I did, but not because they're Black. I don't think that. I don't think Kyle's racist. I think that it's more of like elitist. It's like, I don't really have anything in common with these people who are, don't have millions and millions of dollars. Because honestly, I feel the same way. Kyle felt the same way about Lisa Vanderpump. You remember season 1, or maybe it was season 2, when they were going, I guess they were going to go to La Quinta, wherever it is, and Kyle and Kim were at the grocery store, and Kim is like, oh, I'm going to make my this, that, and the other, and I'm going to put like mayonnaise in it. She was just doing whatever it was that she was doing. And Kyle was still wanting to put on for Lisa Vanderpump, because Lisa Vanderpump is glamorous. She lives in this $200 million house, and she has everything Kyle doesn't. She has style. She's beautiful. She's got a man that loves her, is gonna take her back no matter what. You know what I'm saying? She's accomplished on her own. Like it's just everything Kyle wants to be. She wants to be that person. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was about them being black. I think it's this is unfamiliar to me. So I don't have any, I don't relate to you. But I don't think it's about, oh, I don't like you because you're black. I think she just doesn't relate to them. Just like she didn't relate to Lisa. She just wanted to be like Lisa. Kyle does not want to be like Bose or like Garcelle. She doesn't. And I also do think that because she doesn't have any black friends or black people in her circle, I think all of them are uncomfortable. All of them. I think they all are just kind of like, I don't know what to say, what I can't say. And I will say this, to be fair, I do think on some level, they feel like it's like walking around in a like a minefield. Because if you say one wrong thing, we all looking at you. Like, say what? You know what I'm saying? So like, I do think she tries to take a pause, especially with Garcelle, because of what she did the first season. I think it was the first season Garcelle was on there, and she tried to say Garcelle didn't pay the $5,000 or whatever, and Garcelle was like, "Oh no, that's a lie." And then the next season, she called her out. She was like, "So would you have asked any of the white women that?" And that's when I was like, "Yep, get a soccer, hit her again, like hit her again," because I don't think Kyle. Well, I'm gonna say this. I do think Kyle was very intentional on it, and I felt away when she asked her that. I felt away. Because I immediately thought there is no way in hell Kyle would have asked it. She would have never brought it up, in my opinion.
Right. And how we know is because when Sutton did a payback for Garcelle to Lisa, that's when I started liking Sutton a lot. When she got on Watch What Happens Live, and she was like, I don't know what the big deal is. Lisa didn't never pay me when we went and saw Elton John.
Right.
Remember? And like, I was like, yes, okay. So Sutton has had her back in before, but now for some reason she's been wanting to be in Kyle's good graces. But she did spend years having a version of Garcelle's back. That was big time having her back.
I think she, it was like, to me, they both were in the same boat, except Garcelle was someone who they couldn't attack directly, I feel. Because just like what Lisa said, if we say anything, then we're gonna be saying racist. And I do think that there's definitely truth to that. But I do think that some of them,
but that's not for Garcelle. The same way Kyle was like, when she said that's not my effing fault. Yeah, that's not Garcelle's fault that your tone, intonation, and with particular word choice and the way that you're looking at me comes off racist. That's not my fault. What you get to do is learn how to talk to people, everybody, with a monicum of respect, regardless of color. And if you had proper people training beyond your dollar bills and any of the wallets at the table, then you wouldn't be so worried about how you be perceived, because you already know that nobody's going to see you like that, because that's not how you're coming off.
You know what I think? I'll say this, and I don't know none of these people, but I do feel like the people that live in that zip code, the Beverly Hills 90210, and other places in the world that are just like that, very wealthy, I do think that those type of people, not all of them, but I do think that they, in their minds, believe they couldn't be racist. They're not racist. I'm not racist. I don't do any. I've never done anything.
Faith Resnick is my best friend.
Right. But even beyond that, I think that this is the part that they miss when they say shit like that, right? They'll say that, but then it's like, but you're not around any people of color, except for the people that come to your house and do your laundry, whatever it is. You're not around, so you don't see any people of color around you, not at the grocery market, not at the, you know what I'm saying? Y'all kids don't go to school together, so you don't see that. So in your mind, because you're not even around these people, how could I possibly be racist? But you are, and you just don't even really know it. But I personally don't think that they're intentionally that way. I don't. It's sort of like, remember Dorit was sitting at that table and she was just kind of like, when I was growing up, we had plenty of people, working in our home, Filipino people and Hispanic people, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, girl, you are digging a big asshole that you are not going to be able to climb out of. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's intentional.
We had all the colors that were working. And then the problem became that Garcelle, for clarification, says, so
all of those people work at your home.
Only color people, that's the only ones is the ones you work for?
And she
Oh
didn't
no,
even
my mom's best friend is black. So that was all the ones that she knows were only working for her. But her mom's best friend is black.
it was just been better just to shut up. Just like Kathy Hilton should have shut up, because Kathy Hilton was like, because Garcelle was talking about how, like, if you have a young black boy that you're raising, you have to tell them about crime and how to interact with the police. And Kathy Hilton is like, me and Michael Jackson grew up together. Me and Michael Jackson grew up together. Michael Jackson would say, "I don't see color," and I said, "I don't see color either." And I don't know why we should be having these such heavy conversations with a
Yeah, it's
5-year-old.
always heavy, and then that's another part of racism. Like our existence
But you know
being
what?
heavy for them, so heavy that we can't even talk about it without you being uncomfortable. But it's my life of uncomfortability, but you being uncomfortable because we have to talk about my existence. And now can't talk about it because you're uncomfortable, but it's my existence of uncomfortability.
Try
It's
walking
weird.
a day. Try walking a day. But I think Garcelle handled that right in the moment and in her confessional, because in the moment she said, well, if he's a black kid, I'm going to talk to him about, how to
Yeah,
interact with the police. But
yeah.
then when she got in her confessional, I feel like she took it a step further when she said, and that's your privilege. You have the privilege of not
Yeah.
having to
So
talk
she used
with.
that word privilege with her in confessional and with Dorit to her face. I like it.
Yeah. And I think, I do think all of those things, again, you know how I was saying that I feel like they feel like, and I do feel this way, that some of them feel like, I don't know really what to say because I don't want to get a lashing, and get canceled by the public. But I think Garcelle had the same problem. Garcelle had to be very much walk that line of, I got to be perfect, kind of like Barack Obama being president. It's like, you can't do nothing wrong. You can't have smoked anything. You can't have made a mistake. You can't have went to jail.
I kind of feel like Garcelle might be a straight and narrow type girl. I don't like, there's no like rumors of her being a freaky tale. Even when she was in videos, she wasn't part of like that video vixen culture.
Now
You know
she,
what I mean? Like there aren't that still those stories about her like being loose or promiscuous or or anything like that. I feel like
they can't
I
attach
don't
any.
feel so what I'm saying is I don't feel like her excellence on this show was an extra step for her. I feel like she's been kind of moving like this.
It's who she is.
Probably yes, exactly. It's who she is.
And
Yeah.
that's why I feel a lot of people, I was fan from day one. I was just like, thank you, Jesus. They brought somebody. The
Did you
only
used to
thing,
watch her on the Jamie Foxx show?
of course, I
Okay.
always thought she was so pretty. I said,
Right?
oh,
I
she's
was
just
like, "Oh my
so
gosh, she's so
pretty.
beautiful."
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how you see models and, there are pretty, but they're
Because
pretty.
we didn't have a lot of black girls to look up to. We had that, we had Living Single, we had
It was a
but
different,
like, young black
gorgeous.
pretty working
Yes.
girls that weren't hookers, you know. You know what I mean? That
Yes,
were
I
trying to figure out life. We only had a handful.
yeah, I personally think Garcelle had to walk on water, really, because
Yeah.
anybody less, they were going to take her down immediately. Like, I feel like Lisa Rinna definitely wanted to. Just she got
Oh,
fired.
Lisa Rinna was so jealous. I wonder if Garcelle got booked at something that they both went for way back in the day, and Lisa found out about it and had been waiting to get back at her because she was so mean to
You know,
Garcelle.
I
It was
think
disgustingly mean.
I think that I feel like Lisa Rinna felt about Garcelle
Okay, babe?
the same way Nene Leakes felt about Candy. When Candy,
Oh,
it was like, I'm the star, everybody loves me, and we did love Nene. I still love Nene, but
me too.
it was that level of, I have someone's coming in and they already accomplished. I came in with,
Uh-huh.
but my husband and I used to do it quicker. You know what I'm saying? So, and I love Nene, but I do feel like that's exactly how Lisa Rinna felt about Garcelle. It was like, oh, here's this other lady, because you remember when Eileen was there, her and Eileen were kind of on the same playing field because they, did, what was it, Days of Our Lives or whatever it was they were on together. So it was kind of like our careers are kind of been the same, so to speak. But Garcelle's career was much different. You know what I'm saying? And so it wasn't the fake, phony Young and the Restless. It was, a real modern day kind of like TV show where she's gorgeous and you're not. You're average.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know,
It's like, oh, look, Lisa Rinna never got to change her hairstyle. Put it that way.
and listen, I'm not even mad at Lisa's. I actually used to like Lisa until I realized, just like I liked Kyle, until I realized who they really are. She said she was a cockroach. You're gonna try to kill her, she's gonna come back again. That's who she is. But she really showed me who she was even before Garcelle got there with what she did when she tried to take down Yolanda. You really
Police are told. Police are. Police are told.
okay, I'm back. What's happening? Is my internet dying? No, it's not dying. I got my internet. Anyways, I don't know if you're still here, Miss Larger Curves. I think Radiant's over there. She probably got in the bed 11 p.m. Child. I don't know. But yeah, I talked about Erika. I talked about Dorit. Kyle. Yeah, we talked about Kyle and the incident on the boat and how she just wants to have something. I feel like she wanted to have a problem with Garcelle. Because I mean, your problem with Garcelle is that she says that Sutton just wants to be your bestie and she wants you to take her for her and she just really wants you to do that. You're just picking. I feel like it's more of like what do they say? The old saying is like you're trying to find tits on an ant. It's like if to find tits on an ant, you really got to be looking real hard at it. You got to be taking the closest look, and so that means there's nothing there. You're trying to find something, and I'm like I said before with Garcelle, I don't think they have anything really that they could say about her. She's gorgeous. She's accomplished. She's doing the shit, and like she said, I didn't get here because some man put me here because I married some rich man. I got here on my own. Nobody gave me anything, and I support that message. Okay. Um, we talked about. Oh my god, we talked about Erika talking about Sutton and Garcelle are not interesting. I was like, Erika, girl, if you don't get a clue, how interesting are you? You just make Erika. You're not really interesting. You're good. I would say you're good villain of the show. You give good villain of the show, and sometimes you say things that are kind of insightful, like I said about what you said to what's her name, Sutton on the boat. That Sutton kind of like works as the enemy. I think that's true. The only thing I feel like Erika has going for her is that she's honest about how she feels. She's just honest, and she's kind of like a video vixen, I would say, and she has her style and all that going for her. But outside of that, she just does seem like a mean girl in general. But I'm excited to see. Let's listen to the last part. I'm excited to see part 2 because listen, Garcelle is giving them the business. But let's listen to this last part. Oh, hold on.
You can lend a deal. Too small for a yoga student, too big for a yoga student, too much care. Or you could get an agent who is a realtor with the expertise and ethical training to help you find the best fix for your business.
Sorry. Oh, what happened? Mm-mm.
We're game for every style.
Let's
play.
Sorry.
Charity.
We gotta wait because I got commercials. But while we're waiting, everybody hit that like button. If you're part of the replay crew, hit the like button, hit the notification button, hit the subscribe button, hit all my buttons, as Miss Larger Curves would say, hit all my buttons. It's a free and easy way to support my channel.
Yep, smash them all.
And I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's past my bedtime, y'all. It's 11 o'clock. I've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes.
Thanks for inviting me up, darling.
Get off of here as soon as we play this last little part
Okay, peace.
and try to act like I have stuff to do tomorrow. Like I gotta listen, I'm thinking about going on vacation to Fort Lauderdale. I'm gonna check the tickets again. Do y'all know the tickets last night to go to, if you want to fly Spirit, I want to fly Spirit, was $109 round trip. That's all I'm saying. I ain't flying Spirit, but if you into that. Okay, hold on.
The bad guy here.
Oh, no, I think we are.
Yeah, we're mean girls, apparently.
I mean,
Yeah.
which I don't understand that.
I'm not taking that on. You can say anything you want. I'm not taking it because I know who I am. When she was like, be more interesting, fuck you, Erika. Fuck you. Fuck you. What, because I'm not going through a divorce? Because I'm not, like, I didn't have, criminal activity? That I work? That I'm self-made?
Yeah.
I don't have a rich husband? I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth?
Well, she doesn't.
That's not interesting?
She doesn't have a rich
Fuck
husband either.
her.
So
Fuck
don't worry.
her.
Child. Garcelle's out of fucks to give, I guess. And I ain't mad at her. I am not mad at her, but I am excited about what's going to happen next week. I'm excited to see what's going to happen when Garcelle comes back from lunch. I just don't see Garcelle being. I hope she says all of the things that she said in this backstage. I hope she says all of it to them because they need to know. And they probably do know, which is probably why when Erika and Boz were on, what is the name of that show that Andy has? Something at night, damn it. Bravo something. It's gonna come to me. Y'all put it in the chat for me. But yeah, they were there. They were his guests on that show, and he asked Boz and Erika what they thought about the news that Garcelle, was leaving the show. And both of them just kind of sat there like, and then Boz was like, Erika, say something. And I'm like, oh my God. Why y'all shading her? She ain't even on the show no more. Y'all could have just simply said, y'all could have had grace in class like Garcelle has. Y'all could have simply just said, you know what? Good for her. She's great. We loved her having her on the show. We bumped heads a few times, but she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's making moves. And, hope to see her later in life at some point. You know what I'm saying? Good luck, Garcelle. Like that's what a classy person would say. But I mean, because I'm classy. It just is what it is. Just saying, no, you get what I'm saying? It's like, why are you doing that? It just gave hater. It gave, I wish I could leave like that, but I can't. I don't know what Boz's tax bracket income is, but yeah, I think it's high. I don't know what it is. But Erika, girl, you can't listen. Karma is about balance. You cannot kick people and be mean to people and think it's that karma's not going to balance it out. It's going to get balanced out at some point. And usually it's when you least expect it. That's probably why you had those lawsuits coming at you. And even though it wasn't something you allegedly did, allegedly it was your husband. But see how it balanced out? You were out here living this high life and doing the most and not caring about where the money came from. And you just doing whatever. And then when you get kicked in the teeth and mad and kicked in the teeth, now you're mad and you hurt. And I'm not saying she shouldn't be mad at her. I would be mad at her too. And I probably would have been under the bed somewhere. I don't know that I could live through something that crazy where people are attacking you left and right. But I certainly couldn't have also been, I wouldn't have had those responses that Erika had, which is fuck everybody, including the victims. To me, that's how it came off, Erika. It is what it is. Fight your mama. Okay. Shout out to Shanika from Drip Nation, because Shanika says that. It's so funny to me. But anyway, guys, it is 11 p.m. It is time for me to go to bed so I can get some beauty sleep. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Chanel's Reality. I'm Chanel, and this is my reality. I will see you guys tomorrow. Happy Friday. Okay. Gotta go get a drink, right? And some crab legs. I think I'm gonna have crab legs. Listen, I've been working hard this week, y'all. I've been trying to move back in my house. I can't. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.